good morning, afternoon, evening. I don't know when you're joining me, but hopefully you are. So, at the previous episode, I got to go to the track, and I rode in a couple cars, and I'm putting that in my videos. It got the bug back into me about going to the track. Now, I have something for the track, but it's not a car. And that track we were at is a track designed for karts, and that's what I have. So I'm going to take my kart. I haven't been there in a long, long time. I was working so many hours when I had my other job as well, and I just couldn't get out there. Plus, it was really hot this summer, and it rained a lot. So I did not get out very much at all this year, and now I'm going to try to start that back up and get back into the kart. And I get to do something I've always wanted to do on YouTube, and that is the YouTube slow-mo. In these car shows, you watch them, and they make anything dramatic, they'll put it in slow-mo. The putting on the lug nuts, slow motion, very dramatic. The pushing of the car out of the garage, very dramatic, slow-mo. But my all-time favorite, the best, is walking to your track vehicle while putting on your track helmet in slow-mo. So I'm going to do my version of that today. I've got some Scott tips for you on cleaning your car, washing your car, and I'm going to do a comparison of a foam gun and a foam cannon, and we'll look at the difference on those. Do the banjo. Before we go on track, let's talk about this kart real quick. Just a couple of minutes. This is the X30 kart. It's powered by a 125cc liquid-cooled two-stroke motor, runs about 30 horsepower. Water pump, right there, run by these little rubber bands directly off the axle. Single brake in the rear. Big radiator up front for this Texas heat, and it's electric start. Brakes, right there. Accelerator, right foot. Gas, right between your legs. Slicks, 11 by 7.1 in the rear, 10 by 4.6 in the front. You might be asking yourself, how does this thing turn? Because if you'll notice, both rear wheels spin at the same rate. It's done by physics. So you'll notice that this steering wheel, when turned lock to lock, the inside wheel has a different rake than the outside wheel. That forces weight to the inside front and the outside rear, lifting the inside rear. This is all done and capable by this tubular frame that flexes when you go around turns. The seat, well, they come in different sizes for different body types. The fuel, I run a 98 octane VP racing gas, a little bit of ester, and a little bit of castor oil. That's basically it. They're going to help me set me up before I go out to the track over speed sports. And hopefully I don't kill myself. Getting prepped for this. It's nice of him to prep up my bike, my kart for me. I haven't been out here in a long, long time, and I need to get all the safety gear on and done, and also take this off. Don't take anything onto the track that you don't want to leave on the track. Learn that the hard way. And this is when things get hot. This right here, rib protectors. First time I went out, this first couple times I'd ordered this and I hadn't received it yet, and I cracked a rib within 2 sessions, and it hurt. So this is a must-have. There we go. I may put a couple pounds on. You know, Trying to do fake slow-mo. The flies don't know you're doing fake slow-mo. They're not cooperating. Screw it, let's just get on the track.
So as I go out on my first lap, I'm really only trying to accomplish a couple of things here. I want to warm the tires up, I want to warm the engine up so I get full power out of it, and I want to get familiar with the kart. I haven't been out in the track in a long time, and I really need to get reacquainted with it. When I come into this first straight here, I can be reaching speeds of 66, 67 miles an hour, even with my big butt on top of it. And that's pretty fast when you're only 2 inches off the ground. I'm only going to record the highlights of the session, and you'll notice through the session when I stab the throttle, the rear end kicks out on me. 30 horsepower doesn't seem like much, but actually it's enough to make this rear end kick out if you're not controlling the throttle. Plus, I'm not sure how much this kart weighs, but I might even weigh more than it does. Now this first lap, I'm really not worried about anything. I'm just trying to learn the course again. But as I get more and more to the session and I come into this straight for the second time, I'm giving a little bit more juice. I'm trying to put a little bit more heat into the tires. Now, I'm not hitting very many apexes, and I'm coming out of the corner slow. As I come up to this bend right here, I want to be full speed, but you can tell by the engine noise I'm not. I want to go deep into the corner coming up and hit the apex and continue on. I missed that apex so badly that it's not even in the picture. Well, I'm trying to set myself up for the next bend. As I come into this bend right here, I'm going to hit the brakes hard to this black mark and try to hit full throttle to the corner. Well, better luck next time. Now it's further on in the session and I'm actually hitting the apexes a little bit better. I'm coming out of the corners faster, but I'm not very smooth on the throttle. And every time I stab the throttle, you can tell because the rear end kicks right out on me. It's getting late in the session, I'm starting to make mistakes. We can stop it right here. It's at this point I remember, hey, I'm mortal, and any moron can see this is the incorrect angle to be headed into this corner at 55 miles an hour. Luckily I saved it and came out the other end. After sucking half that fiberglass seat up my butt during that last turn, I decide, it's time to come in. I'm getting tired, I'm sore, I need something to drink.
Oh man, remember me saying don't go out in the track with anything that you don't want to leave out there. And then I think you saw me in the video put my phone in my pocket. I knew better, and I was just too lazy to get up and put the phone in the truck. What I've been doing the last 20 minutes, searching for my phone out in the track. I think I got a 104, high 104s on the track. That's not that great, quite honestly. I need a lot of practice. I'm really rusty. I'm spent too. I think what I'm going to do is get in the cart, the golf cart with the trainer, hit the track, learn some of the apexes again and the entries and exits. It's been a long time since I've been out here, and just write as many notes down as I possibly can, and try to absorb as much as I can. I'm not going to absorb it all, I know that, but I'm going to try to get out one more session and see if my times improve. I'm spent. That's all I got. I don't have any more sessions left in me. This is really, really physical work out there. Like I said, I went out there one time without a rib protector, and I immediately cracked some ribs. This is physical work. I had, I think, 64, 65, maybe 66 on one of my laps going down the straight, and then you got to brake hard to hit those turns. So it's physical work, and it can beat you up, and you have to condition your body to be able to do this all day long, and I'm just nowhere close to it yet. Okay, help me get out of this. No way. Hey, I hope you enjoyed the track as much as I did. Today's Scott tip is more of a comparison than a tip. I've always wanted to know the difference between a foam cannon and a foam gun. So I went out and purchased one of each from the same manufacturer, Pinnacle. The cannon costs about $100 and the gun costs about $67. That allows me to do a little bit of unboxing, and then we can go out and wash the cars, which I've already set up. Okay, first the cannon. So as receipt, basically you get a bottle, cannon itself, even give you a little bit of soap and foam. We're going to use what I got out of the combo package. And then some connections. Sounds pretty good. In the hose. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. We'll get that set up and start. Now, the gun, hose nozzle, all the accessories you need, instructions, yeah. And it also comes with soap foam extreme. So I wonder if we actually should use the soap foam in this and the soap foam extreme for this to keep it similar, as in what they came in the box with. We'll try. Now, I don't plan on filming me and washing these entire cars. There's plenty of stuff out there on YouTube on how to wash cars, and I am not a professional detailer or car washer. I did go out to YouTube and look at some videos and get some pointers and such like that, and listen to some interesting stuff. Case in point, one individual told us to wash the car in the direction you plan to drive it. So if you drive your car forward, wash the car in a front to back motion, or back to front motion with your strokes. So all you drifters out there, make sure you're washing your car from side to side. Now, both of these cars have been ceramic coated by the same company and the same product. I plan on using the foam cannon on the white car. It requires a pressure washer, which I have set up over here, and the foam gun on the red car, which only requires a hose bib. Now, there's some water on the ground, you might notice. I actually set these systems up and kind of dialed them in by washing the doors on the back. They didn't come all that clean, but that's how I tested the systems before I put it on the cars. I don't plan on touching these cars, quite honestly. One of the benefits of these systems is to be able to put the foam on the car, let it do its stuff, and then hose it off. These are perfect for individuals that have second cars that they drive on the weekends or on sunny days, and all they have on the car is a little bit of dust and maybe some kick up on behind the rear fenders or the fenders or such. That's perfect. That's what these things fit. And That's not to say that you can't use the foam on the cars and wash it like you would do regularly, but I don't plan on touching the cars. Even when I dry it, I'm not going to touch the cars. I'm going to put the foam on, we'll do a picture, do a little comparison, see what we got. I'm not going to wipe them down, and then when I dry them, I have a special tool to do that for, so we don't even have to touch the cars, and we'll see what we get. This thing right here, it's great for getting in all the crevices, the water, like in the lug bolts and stuff like that. Watch. Both cars are clean. I think you could tell that the foam cannon put, I don't know if it was more soap on the car, but it put soap on the car and it clung and it was more foamy. While on the foam gun, it was a little bit more runny. It did put soap on the car, but it would run off. Quite honestly, both these products did as advertised, in the sense that both these cars were dusty, had a little road grime on them. I didn't touch the cars, and they both came out pretty much spotless, except for the wheels. It did not take off any of the brake dust. I had to wipe those down. With that being said, after drying these cars, which one would I choose? Well, quite honestly, I would go with the foam gun. Why? Well, if you think about the foam cannon, there was a couple drawbacks to the foam cannon. One, do you have a convenient pressure washer to use? I have an electric pressure washer. It's pretty convenient. We use it for almost everything. We use it with the horse, we use it with the house, we use it with cars. And let me clarify before Peter comes after me, we don't pressure wash the horse. We pressure wash its accessories, its towels, its booties and stuff like that, of all the dust it gets, okay? The foam cannon also had another drawback on it, in the sense of, if foam would get into places that it would stick to, and you really had to pressure wash it out to get it out. And sometimes I actually did take a towel a little bit and wipe some of it away. So if you don't really have a convenient pressure washer, do you really want to be pulling out a gas-powered pressure washer and starting that every time you want to be washing your car? Since a product, both of these use about the same amount of product. I put 2 ounces of product in the foam cannon, I put 2 ounces of product in the foam gun. I actually have a little left over in the foam gun, so it might not use as much product. But as far as the difference in quality and what I got between the two, and the difference in price, there really wasn't a justification. The foam gun put product on the car, it washed the car off, and it worked as advertised, and it didn't use as much as product, and it didn't cost as much, and it's less of a hassle. So that's what I would go with if you wanted to do something other than just wash out of a bucket. Thanks for joining me. That's all I have. We'll catch you next time. I'm actually going to take one of these cars, now that they're clean, to the shop. I've got to do a AC service in there, and I've got a cool car that's coming in the morning, a midship runabout. Cool car. We'll film it. We'll have it in a subsequent video. Thanks.